Hey Magic TikTok. Hey Magic TikTok. Hey. Hey Magic TikTok. It's currently raining outside, so I think it's a perfect opportunity to teach a class on storm safety and preparedness. Yeah, that's right, right at the whiteboard for this one. Welcome to Storm Safety and Preparedness, where our motto is, when they say the storm count is 1, run. Storm is named after the infamous mechanic from 2003 Scourge, which was itself named after the meta-defining Storm Crow of 6th edition. And like the Crow, it rampaged through the formats and was shelved for being too powerful. A few years later, WotC brought it back in the Time Spiral block of 2006. It rampaged through the formats and was shelved for being too powerful. I'm noticing a trend. Over the years, it would be brought back in small amounts in non-standard sets, most recently appearing in MH2, with a card that got banned in Pauper almost immediately. Stuff like this wouldn't happen if they just banned all the basic lands. Fun fact, Mark Rosewater has a ranking system to represent the likelihood of a mechanic coming back in standard, and he called this system the Storm Scale. You know you've made it when they name something after you. When you cast this spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. That's what it does, and a Storm deck tries to exploit it by casting a bunch of cantrips until they draw into either Grapeshot or empty the Warrens. Storm as an archetype has fallen in the rankings in recent years, almost as far down as Arclight Phoenix. That's not to say the deck is bad. Far from it, but WotC keeps printing anti-Storm cards, which is great for Hurricane season, but not for my mental health. In terms of the game plan, a Storm can't combo off until at least turn 3 because it needs at least 1, preferably 2, mana reducers. Once they have at least 1 out, Manamorphose suddenly gains you a mana instead of its usual net 0, meaning that they can keep casting spells like MM and either Ritual to generate mana to cast even more cantrips to eventually cast a Storm card with a high enough Storm count to win. But what if I just counter one of their cantrips? Well, Jimmy, sorry to say that the deck also runs Remand to counter your counters, and they run Pass in Flames to storm off all over again. The most notable card of the entire deck is Gifts Ungiven, a staple of the Commander format's ban list. Grab some cards including at least 1 Pass in Flames and you're all set to storm off again. This deck bind of 3-toe runs some copies of Wish, which turns the sideboard into a toolbox of spells to cast for every situation. Bolt for creatures and planeswalkers, a braid for damping spheres, and extra copies of Great Shop, Empty the Warrens, and Pass in Flames. Storm fights an uphill battle in Modern because of all the hate cards printed to counter it. But that doesn't make it a bad deck. The fact that they continue to print cards to keep it in check just goes to show how powerful of a deck it truly is. But how do you beat Storm? It's Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere, did you not watch the opening skit?